Hello, people of the internet. Loki Scarlet is my name, spreading my wings 'cause I'm insane. It has come to my attention that ATTN, I guess it's supposed to be pronounced attention, released a video earlier this month pandering to the victimhood complexes of sensitive people everywhere. This time being about women's fear of going for a run. Instead of including footage, I'll just summarize it for you and leave a link in the description. It goes as follows. Young women get harassed on their runs. Female runners report being physically assaulted. A video of a news report about an assault plays for a bit to get you emotional. Some women change routes or protective measures. It's like they're smart or something. And oh no, even local news shows promote safety products for women. It's like they care or something. Tech companies sell wearable tech to call for help and record incidents. Oh no, helping people and making money. Shame. This doesn't address the real issue. What's the real issue? Women should be able to go out and run without considering that some people break the law. Everyone has a right to feel safe in public. Yeah, pandering. Appeals to emotion. Fun fact, this is why we have a right to carry arms. I don't care if it's a gun, a knife, or even a twig. I come from a background of computing. It was my childhood, it was my field of study, it was a few of my jobs. Security, performance, stability, all of it was my domain when I wore the IT and tech support hats. I'm going to be presenting some data and evaluating this from a security and performance stance. A study was conducted in 2015 and shared in early 2016 using data from two surveys. The first, in April, consisted of a sample of 3,994 US adults, including 2,294 males and 1,655 females. The second, in December, consisted of 1,017 US adults, including 520 males and 497 females. Link to the study in the description below. The study does focus on guns, but the legwork I've done trying to find something more general has been fruitless. I have a cold, and it's 3 a.m. It's time to report what I found, damn it. The important data to extract from the study is as follows. 12% of women surveyed own a gun versus 33% of men. Among surveyed gun owners, 15% of women carry versus 23% of men. Doing some simple math, this means 1.8% of all women surveyed carry, while 7.59% of all men surveyed carry. That would mean the findings of these surveys show men to be roughly 4.22 times as likely to carry as women. Scary, right? So why are so few women armed? The survey results can give some possible answers for that question too. I won't go too far into detail, otherwise I'll spend far too long when you can get the numbers right off the page presented neatly and readable. Of safety measures, women would usually rank installing a home security system first, before having a large dog, then taking a self-defense class. The fourth popular answer was having a loaded gun, cited by 12%, the same percentage, by the way, as women who own a gun. More women by far said seeing a civilian in public with a holstered gun would make them feel less safe than those who said they would feel safer. 62% of women want stricter gun control laws, 29% think they're fine as they are, 8% would prefer such laws be less strict. 63% wanted gun laws to be a major topic in the 2016 presidential debates. 51% wanted a president who would take action about guns. 45% of women said mass public shootings increased because of personal problems, while a noticeable 30% blame society. There is a much longer full report, link for that in the description as well, but this pattern shows one thing is clear. Women are generally very afraid of guns and generally want the government to protect them from scary things. Now, on to the opinion portion, what I think of these findings. I think women should arm themselves more often. Hell, I think men should arm themselves more often as well. To go out without any protection from harm by others is as dangerous as to go out naked in Alaska is cold. women shouldn't go out afraid. They should go out prepared. No, I don't think it's women's fault for not arming themselves, but my stance is that you have this right to arm yourself and you should use it. Unfortunately, not everywhere in the US can a person get away with carrying a firearm, even though gun bans are kind of a federal crime against the people of the United States. Look in the Constitution, shall not be infringed is kind of important. But other arms are available. This isn't a perfect solution, and people could still be assaulted, but we can't just hide in a trench and pretend we're in a bunker. Yes, men are statistically more violent and psycho than women, but that doesn't mean that you can just say it's all society's fault. I mean, you have freedom of speech, but it doesn't mean you're right. Something has got to give, and it starts with changing the status quo. Government can't do that. It is up to men and women to change the status quo themselves. The government does not care about you. Now, from a security standpoint, it is stupid to go without protection in any situation. Ever gone on the internet without any sort of firewall between you and the rest of the world? These days, you probably haven't. If you connect via Wi-Fi, you are connecting to a router which by default has a firewall function. Your router might be built into a modem. Due to the fact that it has a firewall function, as long as that is turned on, you are much safer by far than if you just went on the internet without any protection whatsoever. Now, other forms of protection are also available for you to use. One of them, of course, being antivirus software, anti-malware software, which can help find and remove any threats that have found their way to your system. But the first line of protection, the front line, is your firewall. Clothing protects you from the elements. Warm clothing protects you from the cold. Light clothing can, actually physically light clothing can protect you from the sunlights if it is intense, and in the process not build up heat as much as heavier clothing. The term light can also be used in a matter of coloration of the clothing. It would be more beneficial in a hot, sunny environment than darker clothing. Now, from a performance standpoint, trying to solve the problem by relying on the government is a very low performance and low reliability solution. It's slow, it's unstable, you can't rely on it. Now, in computing, there are two reasonable trade-offs you can make. You can trade performance for stability, or you can trade stability for performance. But to use a solution that gains neither and gains you no security, that would just not fly. I mean, Windows sacrifices stability and security for performance in such applications as gaming and, well, pretty much anything made specifically for the architecture of Windows. Unix systems and Linux, on the other hand, generally like to run in a safer state. They, instead of sacrificing stability for performance, will actually sacrifice performance for stability and security. Now, no operating system is perfect. This is just an analogy. But that's the way my mind works. That's my reasoning. But hey, I'm a lunatic. Why give a shit what I have to say?